This is Coach Dawn, and I am excited to be back here with you guys doing another episode of Real Talk for Coaches. And tonight it's me and you, and we're going to have an amazing conversation. I'm excited. I know it's been a minute. I have been looking at ways to really bring you the content that's going to be important to you. Occasionally, we're going to have special guests. I know in the past, I would have a special guest for every episode. And while I love that kind of energy, I figured, you know what? I want to talk to you guys directly. I really do. But with that said, you are more than welcome if you are somebody who want to join the show and just answer questions with me, dive deeper. You are more than welcome to register on our website, readready.com, and sign up RSVP to be on the guest list. And you could come in and join and have a conversation. It's just as simple as that, right? And if you would like to sponsor the show, you are more than welcome to click the link, and I usually put it in the chat or when we're promoting the show on social media, in my newsletter, all that good stuff. The link there to become a sponsor. You can sign up to be a sponsor, and we promote your business, your book, and anything wonderful and amazing about you. We make sure that our listeners and our viewers are able to connect with you in your product or services, especially if you benefit coaches. And I am excited about tonight, and I'm going to talk about them a little later on in the show. So let's get into it. You guys ready to get into it? A little bit about, no, not a little bit. I really want to dive deep, to be honest with you, about, if you want success, you have to start somewhere. And I'm going to preface this first with, as coaches, we are also or can be clients. Now, first I gotta say, I don't know about you, but I think that when a coach is a client, we could be a little bit difficult being a client when we're in that role. Just like, I've heard, doctors make the worst patients, nurses make the worst patients, accountants probably make the worst clients. When you're in an industry and you kind of know it is what you do, you kind of are like not a great client. You're really not, because you're too busy in the know-it-all stage. And I'm just saying. But or and with that said, we should be in the client role sometime, because I am a firm believer that coaches need coaches. And so I'm really coming from that perspective of when we are the client and what it means for us to get started, right? If we truly want success. And as you guys know, I coach other coaches. I help, especially new coaches just coming into the business, helping them get connected to other organizations, other coaches that can help them build their business. I've had coaches and mentors who've done the same thing for me. I pass that on. I'm a certified mentor. I'm becoming a certified assessor. So when you go to get your credentials, I'm the one, or I will be one of the ones who will review your documentation and your recordings and be the one that says, hey, you're ready, or maybe you need a little bit more work. So I'm currently doing training for that. So yes, I am the coach for coaches. With that being said, because I specialize with coaching coaches, I have keen knowledge in this area. And one of the things, and I'll give you a couple of examples, I don't name names, but I do give you context. One of the themes, or one of the key examples that I see happen a lot, is that new coaches in particular, but even veteran coaches too, don't know where to start, but we want success. Or we've started and we've only been doing it for a couple of months, or maybe a year, maybe 2 years. And we're like, I should be further along. I should be able to quit my 9 to 5. I should be able to be making hundreds of thousands and 6 and 7 figures. And it doesn't work like that. And here's what's really interesting. So I was coaching my coaching mentor, and I've been doing this since 2014. So I feel like I've definitely put some skin in the game, right? And one of the things I was lamenting about was like, why don't I have 1 million followers yet? Like, why? I should have 1 million followers. I don't get it. Or why am I not at the 8-figure mark yet? Right? What's going on here? And she was really truthful and honest, and I appreciate it, and I needed it. She kind of gave me a kick in the ass, and she was like, sweetheart, I get you've been at it for a couple of years, right? 2014 is nothing to sneeze at. It really isn't, right? So you figure, what's that? 2014, you add 6, that's 20 plus 2. I've been doing this for 8 years. And you would think, right, I should have 1 million followers by now. But I had to step back, right? So as I was being coached, my coach helped me remember where I was in my journey, and also the commitments. Where am I committed? Like, how can I have 1 million followers when I think I post on each platform once a week? Like, most influencers post every day, like every single day. I don't have a glam squad. I don't have someone like I do my own editing for my own videos. I do my own recording. It's not like I have somebody with $5,000 equipment following me every day. So how would I have $1 million followers or viewers? I wouldn't. That doesn't make sense, right? Because of what I've invested in. So how can I want to be successful if I haven't invested in what it takes to be successful? And that's what I want to talk about today. So I wanted to be honest and be transparent around my own journey, but I also want to discuss a little bit about even those who are coming in. And like, I've had one client that was maybe just got her certification, just finished her training. And I think she was doing it for about 2 or 3 months. And she was like, I don't understand why I don't have enough clients. I don't understand why I don't have millions of followers. And I was like, okay. And I sympathize with it because first I can identify how that feels, right? I understand how that feels. So there is some empathy with the experience. I get how you might see your situation of being successful in this industry. But then you don't really know who your niche market is. You haven't developed that. Or you just started the journey. You don't have your website up yet. You don't really have a social media presence yet. Or you're like, I don't like social media. I don't want to be on social media. Or your social media profile isn't even updated yet, but you want success. And so there's different scenarios that I've seen. And if you fit one of these scenarios, be honest about it. Think about it. I want you to imagine yourself as I talk about this, and where do you think you fit in? And so again, these are themes that I have seen as I've coached other coaches. So theme 1, it's very, very new, very, very new. They want success, but they haven't started. They don't have a website. They don't have social media presence. They may not even have their certification yet, or even got their training completed yet, or maybe they're in the middle of their training. They haven't really started yet, and they don't know where to start, but they want to be successful out the box. And, part of, in my training class, for instance, you have to start promoting yourself as a coach. And it's a very simplistic foundational thing. It's not expected that it's going to be your money maker, right? It's not the money shot, but it's to get your feet wet, to promote yourself, and that you're a coach. And I've seen students struggle with just that piece, right? But they want success. They want to be a coach. They want to be this top-notch multi-million-dollar coach, but you haven't even set things up yet. You have to start somewhere if you want success. But that's one image, right? That's one scenario. The next scenario is you set up everything, but you have not distinguished who you're coaching. You really haven't. And me and my mentor talked about this too. We are on opposite sides of this fence. Her belief is when you're first starting out, you should absolutely, positively coach any and everybody because you're new. I disagree with that. I do. However, you pick the path that makes sense for you, my lovelies. My rationale for this is if you're trying to coach everybody, then your message is not tailored to anybody. How do your clients know you will coach them and you can answer their questions, or you can help them optimize and maximize their full potential? How do you know? If you're like, I help people achieve success. Well, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Because success is different for everybody, right? And how do I know what your core benefit is? I don't. So what I teach is you need to narrow down who you're coaching. But I found that a lot of coaches as clients want success and they want to be the end all, the be all. But what I found is that they don't even know who they're coaching. Or it's like, I want to do a coaching group and I want to do public speaking and I want to have a website, and on my website, and I want to do Reiki and I want to do tarot readings and I love tarot readings. So I actually dabble myself. I do tarot readings, but I don't promote it as a coach. I don't. However, and you have all of this stuff on the website that you do massages and Reiki and tarot reading, and you coach and you do this and you do that and you do the other. It's like, it's a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like, well, who are you targeting? But yet you want to be successful coaching leaders. Like, it doesn't quite match up. My husband has, I love his analogy. I love this analogy that my husband has. He goes, it's like you own a gas station and you sell chicken and waffles at the gas station. Like, it doesn't quite mesh. And so that's another scenario that I see where coaches want to do everything and be everything to everybody. And then your message gets lost. And again, that's my rationale for saying you have to really understand, if you want to be successful, know who you're coaching and understand the core benefit that you're providing as a coach, which distinguishes you from other coaches, right? And so I say that to say that's that second scenario of, as a coach, you got to be very clear who you're targeting so that you can create your success, because that's going to influence your social media. That's going to influence your podcast, your book, your public speaking, your courses or training courses. If you're doing training courses, all of this impact how people will see you. It impacts your brand. And the third group of coaches that could be, they're not sure why they're not successful, is they're the know-it-alls. They're the veterans, like myself, right? We've been in this business so long, we feel like we know it all. I don't need support. I don't need training. I don't feel like it's necessary for me to develop my skills. Got that group. But yet you want success, or you don't understand why you're stagnant. You're not understand why your brand or your approach feels outdated. But yet you want success and you're not willing to expand or scale what you're doing to liven things up, to be a breath of fresh air for your clients. So those are the 3 buckets I usually see when clients come to me, coaches who are clients come to me and they're like, but I want success. So the key message here is you got to start somewhere. You can't be afraid to start somewhere, whether you're just beginning or whether you're a veteran. You have to make a decision. Where do you want to start? And we get caught up in there's 1,000 things that I want to do, or 1,000 things that I can do. And we get stuck. We get what I call analysis paralysis, right? Because we're analyzing all of the different ways that we can get started. And how do I want to put this? And because there could be different paths, and because it's not prescriptive, right? Because what might work for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. We get stuck and we get lost in overthinking and overanalysis. And I'm like, yo, just start somewhere. Just pick an area. Just start, right? You'll get to where you want to go. You got to start, though. By being in a place of not knowing, we get scared to make a decision. We worry that this might be the wrong decision, or we worry that we don't know enough, we're not good enough. And we compare ourselves to other coaches. And so we don't get started. We have assumptions about where we are in the journey. So for instance, again, I'll talk about myself, even I'm like, well, I've been doing this for 8 years. I should be further along. And like I said, my coach and mentor had to go, sweetheart, I know people have been doing this for 20 years. And you're a little bit ahead of some of them. Like it takes time to get to the place that we have envisioned. And then we got to ask ourselves, but what are we doing? And what are we willing to do to get to where we want to be? And what I find is that a lot of coaches aren't willing to take a leap of faith. Many coaches, especially new coaches, doubt their ability because they're new. So because they're new, they're assuming that they're going to be as good as somebody that's been doing this for 20, 30 years. You're at a different place. Your skill set is at a different place. You're going to be good enough. Trust me, you'll be good enough and you will help people and you'll get better the more you do it. But a lot of coaches come in with this mindset, I must not be good enough, or I don't have time to invest, or I don't have time to study. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to build a website. Okay, so let's break down some things that are possible options to help you get to where you want to be so that you can be successful. But again, you got to start somewhere. And it doesn't matter what bucket you fall in. It's just about deciding this is the place. And if you look at it as many tasks, so if there's like 20 things that you could do, like I can rebrand, I can change my prices, I can add on a new service, I can learn a new technique and get some new training, right? And I'm kind of focused on my last bucket, my more veteran coaches. You could do all of those different things, right? In order to help liven up and refresh your brand. You don't have to do all of them, but you could pick one of them, right? And it doesn't necessarily matter which one. It really doesn't. But if you want to make sure it counts, then you reach out to the audience that you have. You talk to a branding coach. You talk to someone that can give you support. You get your own mentor. You hire me, hell. We could coach and do the general coaching to see where you want to be with this, right? What's important to you? Survey your current client. Like, it's important for you to just pick a lane and start driving. You're not going to see success if you got your foot on the brake and you're just sitting there in park. You can't go nowhere, right? If you're also looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, I am new to this, I don't know what my niche is, or I got to get started. I got to register my business. I got to create a website. I got to develop my brand. Okay. If you have a list of things to do, instead of letting it overwhelm you and drive you nuts, just go, okay, what do I feel is going to be the most beneficial thing to do right now? And what are things I can do in parallel of each other, right? So one, if you're like, I need a website and I need to register my business, but if you don't have a brand, then how are you going to do either one? Doesn't it make sense to first think about what your brand is, who you want to coach, what's the message, what's your feel, what's your truth, what's your story, right? Why should people come to you as a coach? Like, shouldn't that be established first so that once you understand that clearly, when you create the messaging for your website and for your social media page and your profile, and you get all of this information together, and when you go to register your business, you have all of that information in place. You know who you are. You know what your business stands for. You have your mission and your vision and your credo. You know who you are. Wouldn't it make sense to start that first and then move forward with the next thing? Okay, I know what that is. Well, guess what? Let me research people who can create my website. Let me look at website hosts. Let me kind of get a feel for that since I got that going. Because guess what? The information that you put together for your website, you can leverage it for your social media. Because a lot of the stuff that you're going to put in your website is going to be in your social media profile. Come on. It's like, let's think about it. Let's think about each thing that we have to do as a component. And how do I leverage that information for other areas? Once you have the foundation, you could build upon it. There's somewhere to start. And you can grow and build and go, okay, how can I leverage my website to create my social media platform? How can I leverage my social media platform to create my podcast? How can I expand upon my story to create my book? How can I take my training classes and make these a public speaking opportunity? Oh, speaking of that, I just remembered that. I gotta send somebody my outline. This is my outline because I'm see, and see, this just triggered me. So, give you a real life example. So I was requested to look at my classes and see how can I make some of my classes like an hour and a half topic where you could get 1 or 2 CCEs from it, right? Beautiful. So how do I become successful with that? I look at how can I leverage what I have. When I create an article, a lot of my articles are also part of things that came out of my book, things that came out of my life, research that I've done. My research topic, for instance, my research work on help-seeking behavior. Do you know how much information I've taken just from that 200 and I think it's 280 pages of work, of research body that I have, this whole body of research work that I have? Do you know how many articles came from just that piece of work? You want success? Start somewhere and leverage that information. Expand on it. That is how you reach success. And you don't drive yourself nuts. And you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. You don't have to keep Well, how do I do it? What do I do? When do I do it? You're able to follow a path for yourself where it doesn't feel like a lot of work because you already have a lot of the components already in place. Now, I'm not going to say that you're not going to work. Like, for instance, I might take a component of a topic that maybe I teach about, let's say in my cultural sensitivity coaching class, and I might take a piece of that. Like, I might talk about diversity, inclusion, and belonging, and I might write an article around one of my lectures. I might have to do a little bit more research so that I can support the conversation, but I've already done some of that work. Why? Because I did a lecture. And so I already have some people that I can start with when I'm having these conversations and making these points. But I have to start somewhere, right? And that gives me the building blocks to start. So what I'm trying to really get at here is that it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. And it doesn't matter what road you take. You just have to be willing to take it. Now, I do say the best path to take is the one that's going to give you the best foundation from which you can grow the rest of the components from. Think of it as, this is for my sciencey people. Think of it as a petri dish of bacteria, and you have a medium like glucose, right? When you put an organism in it or bacteria in it, in the right medium, the foundation is so good that it multiplies and it grows and it gets bigger and grows exponentially. That's the way I would recommend looking at your choices and where you can start. What is the one thing that's going to be the biggest bang for your buck and allow you to grow within the media that you're in? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So let me take a little pause because, like I said, I have a sponsor. I'm very excited when I have a sponsor. So thinking of media and growth and your potential. So I got my press kit done, y'all. It's in the works. It's in the final draft, and my rep, her name is Kelly. She is finalizing the final touches of it. And so Kelly is the owner of Supply Graphics, and amazing promotional tools. So if you are looking to build your marketing and your branding, Supply Graphics have amazing services. Like I said, I'm getting my branding kit done and I'm very excited about that. She also helps with social media content development, video ads, presentations, promo videos, press kits, media kits, multi-page brochures, logo and t-shirts, letterhead, sponsorship packets, print and digital ad designs, sales ad packages, book covers, book trailers, Photoshop, Illustrator training, which I did take that course. Now, I highly recommend it. Very helpful if you want to do a lot of stuff for yourself and kind of save yourself money. I took the class. It was very helpful. And she also does writing, like just anything dealing with marketing and media and promotion. Supply Graphics. Go to supplygraphics.com. SUPPLYGRAPHICS.com. Supply Graphics. They have many media tools to help you, especially as a new coach, thrive. And you know, here at Reid Life Coaching, we all about y'all thriving, right? So love Kelly. I've been with Kelly for a couple of years now, actually, and I will be hiring her to do some more media things for me, some more marketing and promotion. And actually, I really need some PR work. So I have to talk with Kelly to see what kind of PR work that she does, because that is on my bucket list of things that I need to do to help me be successful. See, so as I go through all of my little items and my checklists and my tasks, right? I have to start somewhere. So I have a lot of content now. My press kit is off the hook. Oh my God, my press kit is nice. I love my press kit, y'all. It is like the awesomeness. It is the awesome sauce, y'all. So definitely check out Supply Graphics. But I say all that to say this, you got to start somewhere. And, you know, I have a lot of content and she can take all of the components that I have to leverage it and create the press kit and create my promos and create the things that I need in order for me to thrive and be successful the way I envision. Oh, that leads me to the next thing. So please check out our sponsor. I've had her services. I've done her services. I love her services. She's very creative, very good at what she does. Telling you guys, like, I highly recommend her. So please go check her out. Supplygraphics.com. Yeah. So with that being said, also, starting somewhere. So this is where I am in my hundreds of things that I said, what can I do to help my business thrive? And PR work is next on my list to start working on. And that leads me to the next thing of, if you want to be successful, you have to start somewhere. Starting somewhere does not mean you have to do everything at one time. And I think that a lot of coaches get confused about that too. We're talking about coaches as clients. A lot of coaching clients, I think they get confused about that as well, that I have to do everything. And it's like this mindset of, if I don't do 1,001 things, I'm not going to have time. And again, I have empathy for this because I do understand how that feeling gets triggered. I do. I think I've learned through my years that I have to step back and go, you're at the right place at the right time. You're doing what you need to do in this moment. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. So you have to make a decision on what's the most important thing that you want to do. And it's funny because me and my coach mentor, when I was kind of contemplating just where I am in my journey and where I want to take my coaching business, it was really interesting because she felt like I was doing too much. So I was like, ooh, and I felt a little bit convicted because I had to think about, am I doing too much? Am I doing too much? Because I really cut down a lot as far as I can see. But, from her perspective, she's on the outside looking in. And, from her view, her feelings is I'm doing a little too much. And one of the things that she had recommended is like, focus on building one aspect or one pillar of your business at a time. And although I have 3 pillars, I do focus predominantly on the training piece. And I think you guys know that, right? Like, that's really been my top priority, is my training. I love training. I'm passionate about training. And that's where I've started. Now, I do have my coaching and I do have my consulting as part of all that stuff. I do other work outside of all of that, but my priority has been training, coach training. And with that being said, it validates the point of, I had to decide, where did I want to start? Which one of my pillars did I really want to make robust and let it thrive on its own before I start building up the other pillar? Now, the other pillars are there. If you go to my website and you click on it and you look at it, you'll see what it's about. You can absolutely hire me or one of my Reid Ready coaches to support you in that area. But it's not like right now I have a lot of promotional information or a lot of content on it. My primary content really is my training. Now, I do want to build up my coaching group. I do have a small coaching group right now, phenomenal coaches. We call ourselves exceptional coaches, and we practice different coaching skills and different themes that we have each month. But with that said, I don't even promote that the way I should, right? Because I'm really trying to make sure that the training piece is robust. It doesn't mean that the other stuff doesn't matter. But what it means is, like, I'm one person and I can't do everything. And so I have to really sit down and go, which item is going to be the biggest bang for my buck, right? What's my bread and butter? What is the thing that I'm passionate about? Where do I want to get started so that I can be successful, so that it can be strongly planted and rooted, right, in the brand? Training was the thing I picked. That's what I'm focused on. Now, I've got other stuff going on. I absolutely have tons of other stuff going on, but training is the foundation of my brand. And you can't be afraid to say, let me focus. You can't be afraid to say, this is where I need to begin so that I can establish myself and be firm. And you don't have to do it all. You really don't. You don't. So a couple of tips. So let's get to the tips. Let's get to the tip. Get your mind out the gutter, y'all. Stop that. Yeah, maybe that's just my mind. I don't know. So here's some tips for you. Tip 1, know what you want. Know really what you want. And it's okay if you have a list of things. Create a bucket list, right? So know what you want, create a bucket list of all the different tasks and things that you would like to accomplish. As you're getting started, as you're rebranding, refocusing, refreshing, wherever bucket you fall in that I talked about earlier, just know what you want and the different things that you could do. Secondly, hire a dang coach. Hire a dang coach. Like, it's a great investment. Okay? Because that coach is going to help you walk through those items and help you narrow it down and be accountable for the items that you're choosing to work on. And they'll be the one say, okay, you're in a good place with this? Okay, you ready to go to the next thing? Okay, how are we going to set this up? What is this going to look like? They will help you through each task that or goal that you want to achieve. Definitely know your niche. Again, I'm from the school of thought, narrow it down. I don't care if you a new coach and you never coached before, or you a veteran coach and you've been coaching for 30 years. You should know who you're targeting. Like I said, you don't see McDonald's selling leather shoes, do you? No. And when you see their commercials, you don't see them necessarily mixing and matching. When they talking about the Big Mac, they talk about the Big Mac. When they talk about Happy Meals, they talk about Happy Meals. When they talk about breakfast, they talk about breakfast. When they talk about coffee, they talk about coffee. So my whole point to you is when you're marketing and branding and figure out where you want to start so you can be successful, pick a lane. Stick with it till it's firmly rooted in your brand. And then you go to the next thing, right? Make sure you're crystal clear. Know who you're targeting, right? Know who your message is supposed to resonate with, right? Talk to other coaches. Talk to other coaches. We should not be afraid to talk to each other. We should not be afraid to seek advice. We should not be afraid. And I know we are. Sometimes we are. And, I think, and if I'm, let me know if I'm wrong. I think it's probably, well, I'm a coach. I should know how to do this, right? So if you guys are looking at the video, you see me drink some water. My throat getting dry, so I'm drinking a little bit of water. Y'all give me a second. I think sometimes coaches feel like because I'm a coach, I should know this. Or because I'm a coach, I'm embarrassed that I got to go to a coach to help me figure some stuff out. No, don't be embarrassed. We don't know everything. I feel like I'm an amazing coach. I feel like I'm really good at what I do. Matter of fact, I know I'm good at what I do, but I don't know everything. And I want other seasoned coaches or my peers to help me look at things from a different perspective, because sometimes you are so close to the forest, you can't see the trees. You need somebody else to keep you grounded. You need somebody else to help you see things clearer. So don't be afraid to talk to other coaches or get your own coach or mentor to help you wade through your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts, and help you brainstorm it and get it organized in your own head, right? Nothing to be ashamed about. And then almost like a project manager, look at your task as a project management opportunity. So if you got, and I'll be realistic, let's say you got 5 items that you want to tackle. Let's say you want to register your business, create your website, develop your branding and your niche, create your coaching packages. Let's say you want to do those 4 things, right? The first thing is, which one's going to give you the biggest bang for your money? Which one is going to help you create the other items in this task list? So you want to start with that one first so that it can help you build the other components. And it makes the other components a little bit more easier to tackle, right? Then from there, give yourself a timeline. So it's like, okay, I work 9 to 5, I'm a parent, I'm also in school and training, but I know I want to start my niche and do that part. Okay, so if I hire a coach, I know that I'm going to meet with that coach at least once every other week for 45 minutes. That gives me the opportunity to, one, talk somebody through the different components, work on it the next week, and then have somebody, my coach, kind of make sure that I've done my due diligence and hold me accountable, right? And make sure that I'm holding myself accountable. And then I'm going to give myself a time frame of when I want to, let's say I'm going to start with building my niche, right? And really making sure my message is clear and who I am and yada, yada. Let's say that's where we're starting, right? Give yourself 3 to 6 months. And you might say that's a long time. No, it's really not. It's really not. I'm going to give myself 3 to 6 months to develop this part of it. And these are the milestones to get me there. And once that's done, okay, what's the next thing that I want to do? Or what's the thing that I can do in tandem of doing this piece, this marketing piece, right? Or developing my niche piece. What else can I do simultaneously? And it's not too much of a heavy lift. And then you set a timeline for that. I want to do this in 90 days or 60 days. And these are the milestones to reach that. How am I going to hold myself accountable? Who can I contact? What are my resources available to me in order to make sure I do this? And making sure you have time to do it. Okay, I know that I got 2 hours every week. Even if you cutting it close, I got 2 hours every week. And you stick to those 2 hours every week. If you only got an hour every week, you stick to that 1 hour every week and you make sure that you are handling your business that you have set out to do. But if you treat it like a project management opportunity, it'll help you stay on track. And they got project management software. You can put it in Excel. You can put it in Word if you want to, although it's a little trickier in Word. I would say do it in Excel. Get MS Project, Slack. Like there's project management tools. I think there's another one called Monday. Something like that. I think it's Monday. Something like that. There's items out there. You can Google it. Project management software. You know, and really get yourself organized and tackle your tasks, task by task, milestone by milestone, right? And I'm not trying to make it sound easy because I know it's not. I don't want to diminish that there's real, genuine feelings of anxiety or anxiousness, overwhelmingness. I know we're busy adults. But again, if you're trying to do too many things at one time, you can't be successful because you're spreading yourself too thin. You really have to commit to say, I'm going to do at least this one piece. And the thing is, before you know it, you've accomplished so much by the time you look up. You know, my grandmother used to say all the time, she used to say, you know, you fill a bucket one drip at a time. Don't matter how slow the drip is, that bucket gonna get filled before you know it. Don't focus on, oh my God, it's been 6 months, it's been 2 years. You know what you focus on? What do I need to do in the moment? What I got to do right now? Start somewhere. Be dedicated to it. Focus on that thing until it's complete before you say yes to something else, before you add something else to the list of things to do. Get the one thing done and out your way. And like I said, if you could do 2 things in parallel, do it. But the key is don't let it be a heavy lift and make sure you're utilizing your time wisely. That's where you find success. And then the final creme of la creme. Oh, sorry about that. That's my wonderful little computer making noises. I need to turn that off before I do my little recordings. I know, but I did. Anywho, the creme of la creme. Know what success is. Define it and be realistic about it. A lot of times we say we want to be successful, but what does that really mean? Make that specific to you. What's success for you? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that mean? Right? For me, it's being able to really and truly create a coaching firm that helps organizations and coaches, where I'm employing people, and I'm well on my way, where I'm employing people and they feel good about working for the company, where people know my name, where they know the brand, when they see the purple and the teal, they know it's Reid Ready. When they hear Reid Ready, they're like, yes, I want to be Reid Ready, or I'm Reid Ready, right? I want to find out what it means to be Reid Ready. Or when you start asking other people, are you Reid Ready? Right? That's success to me. Oh my gosh, that is like when people can say 15, 20 years from now, you coached me and my life has been the better for it. I went through your training program and it set me on the right course so that I am a phenomenal coach. Because of you, I was able to write that book that I really wanted to write. I hired a Reid Ready coach and I had the biggest aha moment. That's success to me. When I read my testimonials, I feel successful. I really do. And so to me, everything else will come. It really will. But if I hear and read those things, then I know I'm successful. And I know that anything and everything else that I do will be a benefit, not just to my company, not just to my staff or my students, not just to the industry, but to everything I touch. That is success to me. All right. So that's what I'm going to leave you, beautiful people. Start somewhere. Pick a lane. Get your foot off the brake and drive. Get on the road so you can reach your destination. Drive. Baby, you're going to get somewhere. And if there's a detour, take it. You might learn some stuff on the way. And if you fail, learn from it. Failure is not a bad thing. That's where you do your best growing and development. Don't be afraid to fail, or something didn't work out. You made a decision and it's like, oh, snafu. Right? It's okay. It's okay. That's where you learn. You don't have growth in the success. The success is the reward. That's why I said hearing people say they're ready, that's the reward to me. That means all my hard work paid off, right? But that's not where my growth was. My growth was in the failures. My growth was in, I created a course that didn't nobody like. What was wrong with that course? Okay, let's revisit it. This content wasn't good, but this content was. Okay, let me make sure I'm making content that satisfies people. That's your learning phase. It's not failure. It's growth. Don't be afraid to fail. You are good enough. Just start somewhere. Start somewhere. And you're going to find success. All right, y'all. That is my story for tonight. I'm sticking to it. If there is a particular topic that you want me to address, please leave it in the comments. You guys know how to mail us. Visit our site, reidready.com, reidready.com. Please feel free to contact us. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure you follow. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe so that you're in the know. Be in the know. I like to share. And one of the things I'm going to be starting to do, what I'm going to do as we move forward with the podcast is I got some freebies. I got all kinds of great freebies to give away. I can give you my book. You can have my Coaching for Success. Great book for you to have as a reference model. Everything you need to know about coaching for success and starting your coaching practice. You can get, oh my God, a free coaching session. You can get free coaching when you come on the podcast. If you got a question and you want some coaching in the moment, it'll be a great opportunity so people can hear coaching live and how it's done, and you can get what you need for free. Free is a good thing, right, y'all? So feel free to connect and join the conversation. Again, if you want to sponsor, go to my website, click on upcoming events, and there is a section there where you could be a sponsor. Check out our coaching classes. If you're looking to earn CCEs, continued coaching education units or credits, we have those. If you are looking to become a professionally certified coach and get your level 1 credentials as an associate certified coach, we have a course for that. Or if you just want CCEs and want to develop your skill set, you need a good refresher, you get 40 CCEs. Come on and take that course. Like, we have courses and training, mentoring, and eventually assessing, which I hope to have by December, January. Keeping fingers crossed. So you guys definitely check us out. Again, we are here to support coaches on their journey. And remember, we also have our coaching exceptional coaches group where we practice coaching. We talk about coaching. We talk about branding. We talk about niche development. We talk about all those good things. And can't forget, I also have a meditation group because coaches need to be mindful. And we need to manage our own stress. And so I have a mindfulness group too. And you can check that out. All you got to do is reach out to me. And if you want to know anything about Reid Ready and how we support you as a coach or as a leader or as an organization, reach out. Ask questions. That's what I love to do. All right, y'all. I'm done for the night. I'm going to go and watch Game of Thrones, Fire and Ice, or House of Dragon. Ooh, y'all, love House of Dragon. Love it. And I'm going to watch Interview with a Vampire. Oh, love that one too, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm just loving it. And then I have to make sure I record most of this stuff because, like I need my beauty rest. And I also have to look at Rick and Morty. Oh no, Rick and Morty's not on right now. That's right. Rick and Morty comes on in November. That's right. Next month they come back on. But that's good because then I mean I can get some sleep and just watch the things that I want to watch. So I'm going to watch those 2 shows. And I'm going to talk to my nephew because I have a weekly call with my nephew. So I got a lot to do before I decide to go nappy nap and face another day tomorrow, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope this was beneficial and helpful to you. And please join us next month. Not sure what the topic is yet, but again, I am taking recommendations and suggestions. So make sure you email or come to the site and send a comment and let me know if you have a particular thought in mind, and make sure you register. Because remember, being on the podcast is free unless you want to sponsor. All right, y'all. That's the end of my shameless promotional plug. I love you guys. Go create awesome sauce, and please take care of yourself. Be safe, and I will speak to you guys soon. I love you. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. All right, y'all. Take care.